can tell you.
Service in only Arosa is EPD.
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Getso.
It is truly given that Nigeria is moving on the path of greatness, such that has not been seen before, and it is inspired by leadership. This is not trite, but the nation is seeing the emergence of a wave of vibrant and forward-looking technocrats as strategic government institutions that are fired by the vision of greater future for the country and are doing everything to see the country deliver on its promise. I am again inspired by what the new leadership at the National Institute for Cultural Orientation, NICO, is doing differently to stimulate knowledge and appreciation of the country's diversity and respect of our cultural heritage. In NICO, the mandate is to harness culture for national development. As they pursue this mandate, the present group of management team and NICO are bringing new thinking to bear on the work they do. Somehow, they think the way to heaven must evolve out of new and refreshing ideas that translate mandate better and deliver on set goals better. To the management, there must be a new way of doing normal things that will guarantee a movement from inertia to progression. So it is that all the normal programs of this federal agency are redesigned and fresh momentum injected into them, so much that they inspire more and impact more. It is not long since we told the story of their refashioned indigenous language program and how it becomes such an exciting and unifying force of Nigeria's diversity. This program, when it was running and when it was transmitted, had a most amazing feedback. Scores of people called to be part of it. Those in it do not want it to stop. It had not only introduced them to new languages and cultures of communities other than their own, it also built relationships along tribal and cultural lines, which are gateway to national integration.
I came from Yoruba land. I'm a Yoruba man. In Nigeria, we have so many languages, maybe 450 or more than that. And we have 3 major languages. So, because of that 3 major languages here, if you are able to learn it, the unity that the federal government are clamoring, there should be unity among the people, you strengthen it.
You find out that parents hardly train their children with their own local language. Rather, they speak English for them. You find out that most of these languages in Niger State are going into extinction if they are not spoken. Like the Kamukus now. You find out that it's hardly spoken. Most of the Kamuku people, they speak Hausas now. I was opportune to attend a wedding where the bride and the bridegroom are Kamuku. But do you know that I never had anybody speak Kamuku there? They were all speaking Hausa languages. That is why the National Institute of Cultural Orientation now deem it fit to introduce Kamuku into our languages.
As noble and exotic as the programs were, it is free, and it happens nationwide. NECO actually had 3 indigenous language programs. They target different set of groups, but their purpose remained the same: to engender unity in diversity and uphold the cultural heritage of the Nigerian people. The one we broadcast was actually the August edition of the indigenous language program. All the language programs of NICO are annual. There is an ongoing plan, however, by the agency to open it up and reach out to as many Nigerians as are possible.
We are trying to develop an online, indigenous language training, so that you could be in your room, you can access the teaching of this kind of language without coming to the class, because you could be busy, you could, So, but we have not completed that, but we have already started creating that platform, so that people can access and learn, some of these languages online. Within the image and likeness of the August edition of the Indigenous Language Program,
NACO in October unfolded another of its major national program, the NACO Children's Fiesta. In beauty of concept and impact, this is one of the most compelling programs the agency ever had to float. It targets Nigerian children and prepares them for their leadership role of the Nigerian nation. The management at NICO have big ideas. They believe that Nigeria is going through a cultural renaissance and children are its major drivers.
As a student of history, I know that, and culture, I know that if you want to do orientation, the children are very, very important, very, very significant, because their mind is impressionistic and they are young, they are still bendable, they are still influenceable, more than that adult who has already formed his own or her own opinion. So because of that, we target this very important segment of our population, because it is very, very good in terms of that. It is easier to do that. It is also giving you a parity result in terms of the message you want to put across.
By way of reinforcement, the Executive Secretary NACO, Ado Yehuza, said the Cultural Fiesta is a platform for the promotion of cultural consciousness, creativity, national pride, and identity. On the evidence of the events of the Fiesta nationwide, he cannot be more correct. He re-emphasized that by making children leaders of tomorrow through cultural awakening, the nation is laying solid foundation for the economic and cultural development of it, which is the vision of NICO all the way. The events are beyond the power of speech though. They are translated in real life. I was part of the Fiesta in Abuja, and I have this reassurance that our children will achieve the milestone we do not achieve in the creation of bond of unity and understanding through culture. Thanks to the enabling environment provided by NACO especially to give it a head start. In Abuja and in every center around the country, the Fiesta featured competitive and non-competitive events. It is epic to see our secondary school children giving expression to Nigeria's rich cultural heritage in music and dance, traditional cuisines, fashion parade, and cultural quiz with mastery and energy. Again, it is a testimony of the difference NICO is making to these children nationwide by supporting culture clubs in secondary schools. All children participating from different schools in this country are members of cultural clubs of their schools. The story of the Fiesta in Abuja especially cannot all be told, but we can make a sense of it. For one, it has a most beautiful start, the rendition of the national anthem in Bagi. The anthem set the tone for the events to follow. Most poignantly, an exhibition of Nigerian dance and music by all participating schools. All schools dig from all cultures and present their dances, and it was beautiful and credible. In that music and dance, schools call out to be national in nature and bonding and rejoicing as one large Nigerian family. The spirit of unity in diversity is rooted in their mental faculty from their formative years. The unity dance, as it is identified, remains dominant throughout the 2 days of the Fiesta. As it reflects a particular culture, a deep aspect of its uniqueness is brought to the fore. I have been taken by an elegant display of traditional attires reflective of all cultures of Nigerian peoples at this children's fiesta.
We can see how respectful our culture is. Very respectful.
is a work of genius. How these children execute their parade, it is glorious. The work on the runway, the costumes, the whole scenario built up an aura of real-time fashion parade of Nigerian indigenous clothing. An intellectual perspective was brought to bear on the fiesta. Schools stood up to debate on the theme of the fiesta, which is culture a tool for creativity? It is interesting to see the insight of the debaters on the topic and how much they already know about the role of culture in national development. I am also captured by the submission of an honorable professor from the University of Abuja, who came around to speak to all the attendees at the fiesta on culture, creativity, and the Nigerian child.
The need for unity and peaceful coexistence in Nigeria, because when there is unity, when there is peace, the children are the beneficiaries. Consider the aim, which is the microcosm of the entire big society, the whole. If there is no peace between mommy and daddy, the whole will be divided.
In the outside of the hall, two competitive events were going on simultaneously: traditional cuisines and the making of an indigenous hairstyles. I was in particular captured by the deep-rooted skills displayed by the groups in making the hairstyles. I think one of the greatest cultural fun in the 2022 NICO Children's Festival is, of course, seeing young children doing different kind of hairstyles for their colleagues. Now, you know the beauty about it? That these people have learned art and that they can even earn a living doing so. And then, of course, also sustaining their cultural values and propagating it to future generation. Don't you think if this girl marries later and she gives birth to children, she cannot teach her children this art of making hair? And then one wonderful thing I learned about them, what I loved about them, when they are doing hair, they have timelines. They have been able to finish on time. And the hair looks beautiful to me. Although I'm not the judge, I'm not marking them. But I think it looks beautiful. What do you say is your name?
My name is Sekinet Babatunde.
Sekinet Babatunde.
Yes.
You are from which school?
I'm from JSS Gariki Area 10.
That's JSS Gariki Area 10.
Yes.
Okay, a beautiful work you have done. Have you been doing it at home? Or
Yes, I did regularly.
Regularly?
Yes.
They pay you?
Yes.
So you earn a living doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, so in addition to your schooling, you also have arts, you have also skills like that. Okay, so it's beautiful, it's also culturally good. Who do you do it? To people, or do you have people in the community?
So my classmates, my family, and other from outside.
Okay, and you love doing it?
Yes.
Apart from this one, you do other styles too?
Yes.
Tell me the styles you can do.
Like clap, shuku, and any other style.
Okay, so this is okay. Let me ask you are a beneficiary of a free hairstyle. Obviously, you pick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you like it?
Yeah, I really love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
Was it any difficult? Is it hard doing it? Did you feel any pain or something like that?
No, it's not that hard. I didn't feel pain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you going to keep this hairstyle or you are doing it for demonstration only?
Actually, I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long would it usually take for you to have it?
I can keep it for, let me say, 2 weeks.
One beautiful thing about these hairstyles by this girl is that they look so young and promising. Obviously, your name you said is what?
My name is Mary Ogochukwu.
Mary Ogochukwu. Yeah. Mary, let me ask, do you do this thing at home?
Yes, I do it regularly.
Regularly?
Yeah.
So it's not doing a new thing?
It's not a new thing.
Okay. And they pay you or you do it just
Yeah, I got paid, yeah. Yes, sir.
Regularly?
Yes, sir.
Obviously. So how many styles do you do?
I do as many styles as they wish.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, but you do it at home or you have a shop?
I do it at home.
Or they call you to go and do it?
They usually call me for home service for me to do it at home. I also do it at home and in their houses.
And when it is time for school, you come to school as well?
Yes, I'll come to school.
Okay. Okay, do you love doing it or you are doing it for the money?
I love doing it because it's from here I usually paid my school fees.
You don't mean it?
I mean it, sir.
Obviously. Okay, that's very great. Oh, madam, but what do you call this style, by the way?
I call this style Are Fulani.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are those girl Fulani?
No.
Why do you go for Are Fulani, by the way?
Because I love the hairstyle.
Okay. And you are what?
Sir?
You are from which part of the country?
I'm from Imo State.
Imo State. You are Igbo too?
Yes,
Igbo
sir.
Yes, well, you see the beauty of this thing? These are Nigerians from probably, you can say, eastern part of Nigeria. But because of the cultural love that they have out in themselves, what they go for is what a Fulani style of hair. Can you beat that? Obviously, they are not looking for something like they will do in Igbo. And, oh, it's Fulani kind of hairstyle. I think it's beautiful. And it speaks of our love for one another. And if this kind of trend will continue, our unity is assured. The cooking competition put to test the ability of the students to deliver traditional cuisines. Representative of schools put a good show of it and produced meals reflective of all cultures of Nigerian peoples.
That is where we are trying to establish the nexus between culture and development. You know, people for a long time are used to these white-collar jobs. You know, I can tell you of my little niece in the US. She braids hair. She makes a lot of money on braiding hair. Just weekend, she's a student, but she braids hair for people like that, and they pay her in dollars, a lot of money.
So culture, it can be something that is a resource generating.
Of course, most Nigerians when they go abroad, they look forward to Nigerian food. So if you have Nigerian cuisines all over the world, why not to help? And this is the foundation. We must lay the foundation. Let our young people know how to cook. Let them know that Nigerian, food is nutritious, is delicious.
The cooking competition put to test the ability of the students to deliver on their cuisines. Representatives of school put a good show of it and produced meals that define Nigeria's food cultures. There was rich presence of various interested parties from the academia and public service who identified with the milestones NICO is achieving its continued drive to achieve its mandate. In many situations, like the debaters, they added perspectives on the theme of the fiesta.
You know, there is a saying that culture is life about and what creativity entails. But having a cultural fiesta like this brings it more to the fore for them to be prepared for the future.
The Children's Fiesta was a multicast event which featured games like Ayo. Eventually, various prizes were won by schools as encouragement to continue on the path of their fashion for a better Nigeria. The same kind of children fiesta was held in Lagos too. NICO was not done with the fiesta in Abuja. It held another one in Lagos. I love the environment for the Lagos NICO fiesta. There is this genius work of art around the surroundings. It sets you in the mood for a cultural treat. Then, the face of the venue itself, the National Theatre in Egamu. A cultural fiesta cannot have a better environment for it to express itself. And it did express itself beautifully. Again, the dances feature prominently in Lagos. They reflect the costumes and dance steps of multiple cultural entities in Nigeria. I had a good time appreciating the beauty of Nigerian costumes and how these school children give them expression beyond word. There is a captivating beauty in the dress sense of Nigerian ethnic identities.
Yes, culture is a tool for creativity.
One of the major features of the event in Lagos, which I really come to appreciate, is the debate again. The topic remained the same. Is culture a tool for creativity?
For example, the Yoruba culture adorn women to wear arafifi, which creative minds have now gone into a tattoo business.
Without culture, there is no creativity.
I'm particularly impressed by the submission of one bright student, more from his costumes and the passion with which he delivers his stand. I captured him outside.
is culture a tool for creativity? One of the participants, this young man, one of the debaters, obviously came like this. Then tell me, is culture a tool for creativity? If I were the judge of that debate, this young man has already won it. But tell me, Mr. Obigerald. So, Obigerald, is culture a tool for creativity?
I would say, for example, tie and dye, which the Yoruba call adire. It was a culture, and it was originated from the forefathers, and it is still part to today. It was local, but now they have changed it. It is now, they have changed it in a creativity aspect. So they combine creativity and culture together. We will make a perfect combo, like the Igbos would say. So the African salad, which is called
okay, very good.
Abuja.
How about that for this young man's argument? Beautiful. But what interests me most, when you are having a debate, why do you appear like this?
Why would I appear like this? It is my culture, and I can go anywhere in the world appearing like this. My statement, my dressing is my statement. As I dress like this, if people see me on the road and say, yes, this is a proud people boy.
I also talked to some of the invited guests on the concept and the theme of the fiesta.
The way they talk about our culture, it shows the kind of passion that they have for Nigerian culture. And for me, I have hope that Nigeria will be great again. So what they said, you see, I know that there's a lot that Nigeria can offer. And then looking at the fact that we have so many things to display, so many things to show off concerning African culture, and particularly Nigeria, I think that from time to time, we should have things like this to showcase our culture, and that sense of creativity that these children have, we should be able to exhibit it to the people.
There was cooking competition too. All participants work on ole moi moi and pap. The judgment will be on who does it better. Ayo game is national, unique to Nigeria perhaps, and identified more with the southwestern Nigeria. It is an engaging pastime that over the years built friendships and an avid competitive spirit which build the intellect ultimately. It is popular alright, but scarcely identified with women. In the Naiko Children's Fiesta in Lagos, it is beautiful to see women competitors taking on the game to the males. One take-home lessons from the Lagos Children's Fiesta are some sort of tutorials given to participating schools to uphold values of hard work, respect for elders, keeping to time, and avoiding examination malpractices. It is a timely intervention that can only make their cultural awareness more beautiful, and the method used was interactive and easy to understand. There was culture quiz too and more dances. In the end, there were prizes to motivate the performances of the schools. We talked to the Executive Secretary of NICO, Ado Yahuza, on what the future holds for these amazing programs.
We need to add more activities to this. We need to expand in terms of the number of schools, in terms of the content, of the program. Definitely we're going to put more.
Generally, it has been a beautiful year for the strides NICO is making to expand boundaries that can guarantee unity of the Nigerian people, advance their mutual understanding and cordial relationships, and bring our children up to a world of one Nigeria with equal opportunities for all peoples.